Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how we work online while living in our camper van and also when we're backpacking and traveling.
We've been working online since 2014 and it's been really great. It's allowed us all kinds of flexibilities to travel when and where we want to, but it hasn't always been easy and we've had to find solutions to all kinds of challenges along the way. So in this video, we're going to talk about 7 aspects of working online while traveling that we've fine-tuned over the years. We're going to cover gear, Wi-Fi, how we stay focused and comfortable. We're also going to talk about security, backups, and power. If you're thinking of traveling and working online, we think this video is going to be really helpful for you.
Before we get started, we just want to say a quick thank you to NordVPN for sponsoring this video. We'll give you more information about them later on. So first up is gear. We both have some pretty basic stuff to be able to work online. We each have a small portable laptop. We'll usually carry a few hard drives with us. We have some pretty light and portable mirrorless cameras. And if we do buy something new, we try to make sure it's the smallest and lightest version of that thing. Having a simple and light setup also means that we're able to carry the important stuff with us all the time. For example, if we're taking the plane, we'll never check any important electronic gear. We'll never put a laptop in a checked suitcase. So we'll have a small backpack and in there we'll put our laptops, maybe a hard drive, a camera, and just the essentials that we can't afford to lose.
When it comes to Wi-Fi, that is probably one of the most important things that we look for when we're traveling. And so we've relied a lot on free Wi-Fi for the past few years. We've done a lot of work in cafes. We also use public libraries quite a bit. And sometimes what we'll do when we're in our camper van is we'll go into either a restaurant or a cafe and order something. We'll work there for a few hours, but we don't like to take up too much space. So then we'll move into the camper van and we'll still be able to access their Wi-Fi from the parking lot. So it's a little bit sneaky. We're kind of like friendly Wi-Fi pirates who still buy something, but we don't necessarily want to spend the whole day in that cafe or restaurant. Sometimes it has been worth it for us to pay to work at a co-working space, which is basically like a communal office space that you can rent by the day, the week, or the month. There's usually one in most major cities around the world. Sometimes when we are on the move quite a lot and we're moving from place to place every single day or every week, it can get stressful to always be finding a comfortable and affordable place to go and sit and work or to find free Wi-Fi. So a couple things that we're looking at doing moving forward is we're actually maybe going to get a cell phone. It's been almost 7 years since we've had one, but we might get a small data plan so that we can at least access our emails from wherever we are. We've also been looking at mobile internet plans. So basically you get a small device that's not a cell phone. It's a Wi-Fi hotspot, kind of like a router that allows you to access internet while you travel. Unfortunately for us, the mobile hotspot plans in Canada, they are available, but they're just not affordable for us. One last thing that we're also looking into is a Wi-Fi range extender. It's basically a device that amplifies Wi-Fi signals so that you can access them from further away.
Next up is focus. We're often working in public spaces and cafes, places that are just pretty loud, noisy, and distracting. So one thing that I find really helps me to stay focused is to use a pair of good noise canceling headphones. Right now I have this pair that a friend gave to me and it really helps just block out outside sound, especially when I'm editing video and working on audio. Staying comfortable while working on a laptop and moving around is not always easy. A laptop is inherently not very ergonomic, and this isn't a big deal if we're just working a couple hours here and there, but if we're working long hours at the laptop, it can cause some aches and pains. In our camper van, we had a bed with an adjustable backrest so we could adjust our seating position. And a good friend also gave us this portable lap table that we've used a lot in the van. It's pretty lightweight. We can adjust it into all sorts of different angles to get comfortable. And that's been really nice for working and also for watching movies while in the van. When we're staying a bit longer somewhere, maybe we're house sitting or staying at a hotel or a hostel for a longer period, sometimes we set up a standing desk, and I've actually been thinking of maybe getting a small plug-in keyboard and a mouse to plug into the laptop so that we can raise the screen and be more comfortable, but that would add weight and bulk to our gear, so we haven't gone there yet.
We do pretty much everything online, from our banking, all of our work, all of our correspondence, and we're usually in public places using an unsecured Wi-Fi connection. So basically, using an unsecured Wi-Fi connection means that someone who knows what they're doing could potentially access some of your important information when you're connected, which for us is almost all the time. So that started to worry us a little bit. We've heard a couple of horror stories about people having their laptops accessed for different things. We've heard of a YouTuber having his videos completely wiped from his channel. So we kind of want to avoid that and protect ourselves a little bit more. Last summer, we looked into ways to do that, and we learned about VPNs, which stands for Virtual Private Network. And it's basically a service that you can activate while you're browsing the web that creates a secure connection so that people can't access your information. And it does it by hiding the IP address of your computer and using another one from a server in your country or in another country. We started off using a free VPN service, but it was really annoying because it would make you wait in this kind of fake lineup for several minutes until it would let you log in, and we didn't really like it. Recently, NordVPN reached out to us to let us know about their service, and we looked into them and found out that they are one of the best VPN services around. They're also really affordable, so we're excited to be using them as of now and moving forward, so we won't have to worry about anyone accessing our passwords or our banking information. A couple of other things that we really like about NordVPN is that they don't log any of the data that you access while you're using their service, so no one's recording the websites that you're going to or anything like that. One last thing that's really cool is you can actually go into your account and see a map of the world, and you can see all the different servers they have available, and you can choose any of them to use as your IP address. And so NordVPN has servers all around the world, so you could have your signal coming from Spain or Albania or South Africa. It's up to you. So if you're interested in traveling and working online, or even if you want to just make sure that your internet connection at home is secure, NordVPN is offering our audience a discount, so you can get 77% off of their 3-year plan, which ends up being less than $3 a month. If you want to get this deal, you can go to nordvpn.com/exploringalternatives and use our discount code, which is exploringalternatives. We'll also add a link in the description in case you want to check it out.
For backups, we usually try to keep smaller documents and spreadsheets in Google Drive, but we're also often working with really large video files, and unfortunately, we can't back those up on the cloud or on Dropbox or anything like that. They're just way too big and they take forever to upload. So what we've been doing is that, for example, if we go film an interview, right away we'll come back and back up that footage on a small portable hard drive, and we have 2 of those hard drives, and they're just duplicates of each other. Another advantage of backing up our files like this is that there's almost no data stored on our laptops. So if something happens to them, they get stolen or we lose them, we can always get a new laptop and start again.
Lastly, we're going to talk about power, and it might seem like an odd thing to mention, but if you've ever worked at a cafe with your laptop and you haven't been right next to the plug and you're slowly watching your laptop's battery go down to 0%, it can be really stressful, especially if you have a full workday ahead of you. So what we usually do is, with our laptops, we have the option of a shorter or a longer cable. So if we're traveling, we almost always have the longer option so that we can access more outlets from wherever we're sitting. Another thing we've had to do, especially living in the camper van where it didn't automatically have outlets, is we installed a solar power system so that we were able to charge our laptops and our other gear from the van. One last thing to think about with power is that if you're traveling to different countries, you'll want to have a universal power adapter so that you can adapt your plug to fit into whatever outlets are in the country you're in. We hope you found our tips and experience helpful. If you're interested in working online as you travel, but you haven't found online work yet, we made a separate video with some tips for how to find online work, and we'll link to that video in the description of the video. Also, if you're interested in trying out NordVPN, you can visit their website, which is nordvpn.com/exploringalternatives, and you can use our discount code, which is exploringalternatives, to get that special deal we mentioned earlier. We'll link to them in the description of the video as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.